one of the players, Declan Tanner, comes down. Delon on the field, like Brendan Vensel's coaching, like, you know how he is and that. You see that smoke over there? That's your house. It was getting burnt down. Like, can you? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because like, honestly, they just run the club. So I started running off the pitch. Brendan's like, Dad. I'm like, oh, my house was burned down. He's like, what? Are you from the fire brigade? He went to me, get back and train. So did my training. As soon as this done, ran, boom, got on the car, went to the house. The whole house I saw, like the bedrooms come down through the kitchen and everything was gone.
Hello and welcome to the RugbyPass Offload with Max Leaf and Ryan Wilson. Later on the show, we'll be joined by triple European champion and ex-England international Delon Armitage to celebrate his incredible career. But firstly, everyone at the podcast and RugbyPass offer their deepest condolences to the royal family after the tragic passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. May she rest in eternal peace. Boys, you were both meant to be playing matches on Friday night under the lights. How did the tragic news affect those plans?
Oh, mine was cancelled. Mine was, we cancelled it. When did we find out? For Thursday evening. Not long after we found out the news. I think Ulster were over here as well. I think they were already in Glasgow because a few of the boys saw them walking about town on Friday. So, our game was fully cancelled and off. And I'm not sure about you boys played, didn't you, Max?
Yeah, Saturday. But lads, terrible news other than the Queen passing away.
Yes.
Rest in peace. I had a wedding in Tuscany on the next Saturday, but obviously it got postponed to 5:30, so that I couldn't go. And I'd already paid for everything. I'd already had a lovely DJ, had the flights, didn't put the insurance in, should have done. Yeah, so that hit me dearly. But thankfully we got the double over the arch enemies.
Maxie boy, always get insurance, mate.
I know, but man,
what holiday you book with rugby, I cannot tell you the amount of times someone's broken something or done something at training, and then it's like, oh, you've got to cancel your holiday.
I know, that was so rookie, but it was so spenny, the insurance. For the flex, right. It's like an extra cut. It's like a extra 150. I was like, you guys are having a laugh. I'm making this flight, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm making it no matter what. Oh, I did see our old mate Joe McManus over there. I wondered what he was doing. Flew over all the way from bloody Oz for it.
I know. I'm sure it was epic. I'm so gutted.
Obviously, big news in South Africa is that Elton Jantjies and the team dietitian, Zinat Simius, have been sent back from the Rugby Championship due to their affair being leaked to the press.
Naughty.
Obviously, we're not commenting on the individual case, so we're not naming names. Unless you want to. But Ryan, you've been travelling the world with Scotland, away for months on end. Have you witnessed sort of teammates grow a strong bond, shall we say, with some of the backroom staff?
No, I haven't. I've seen people develop a strong bond. Why do I get asked that question straight away? Is there something I don't know?
Our guest today is
no likey.
Nah, I mean, I've heard about it obviously in rugby and stuff like happened at Bath, didn't it, Max? Were you there at Bath?
Just wouldn't know. It just wouldn't. I can't substantiate any of these vicious rumours. Very visceral stuff to me. Pointing fingers.
No, did it not happen at Bath with someone?
Oh man, I've been pretty much. I don't want to go into this territory.
I know. What about trying to throw us under the bus with this sort of
hot water?
Yeah. On a serious note, I've read because I hadn't heard about it until today with the Elton Jantjies stuff. Fuck, he's got 3 kids as well, hasn't he? Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. But if you know what it's like when you read the newspapers, you do read them and think, what's going on here? Like, how are people finding some of this stuff out? I read something, where was it? Obviously, he's been in a bit of trouble before, hasn't he? So it must be big news over there. But it was saying that the first time they were making a lot of noise. Not sure what sort of noise, but the first time they're making a lot of noise, and he's run up a bill of 4,000 rand that he's not paid.
200 quid.
£200. And then he's ran up a bill. So this is what I mean. How did he get this? And then he's ran up a bill of 26,000 rand, for which he only paid 5,000 rand.
Probably like a
Random to have that in the newspaper, isn't it?
Like a nice room service.
Those flowers a lot.
Coitus dinner. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh well, what has it been in camp? Is this what we're getting on? Is it been in camp? Has it been out of camp? Surely he's not just getting a room with her in camp and then running up bills and not paying them. I mean, we all do it, don't we, Max? When you go away and you go down for a coffee,
then you have to sell.
It's a random room number, isn't it? Or you find out the manager's room number, you just hose the coffees onto his room. Do you do that?
No, I'm going to do that next time. But yeah, you're right. No, there's probably, I don't know what these international camps are like. Obviously, I've never been in one. So you get your room and that's sort of your house, isn't it? Like that's where you go. Surely he would get the odd lovers tryst in there every now and again if he needed to.
Is it the sort of thing?
My sources are very
Do you
hold on a minute? I've just realised I'm reading the Daily Mail.
Oh, I thought Ryan Wilson had his birds like Varys.
No, I'm reading the Daily Mail. I've heard of it happening. I've heard of it happening quite a lot.
Yeah, it does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is it super frowned upon? Is it more like, okay, this is bad, but sort of happens a lot? Or is it happen so much that everyone's like, oh, it's just standard?
I've not been at that many clubs. Max might know a few different clubs and what they have because, it should stick for everyone the same rule. But at Glasgow, it's very frowned upon, I think.
That's
and if it was to be found out, I think you both get the sack. I'm not sure why though. You really
they're not saying you can get sacked. The South Africa are not actually saying it's against protocol. They're saying he's gone back. He's been sent back to basically deal with.
Yeah,
that.
I think it's more the fact that he's got a missus and 3 kids, maybe. But if you were a single lad and it was a single physio, and it happened, it's still very much frowned upon. But I'm not completely sure why. Why is that?
Well, it's because it's unprofessional, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. Look, Mark, where you work, let's not mention the name in case you get in trouble, but where you work, if someone single was to fall in love with someone else single and they got together, is that frowned upon?
Fall in love.
No, I don't think it is. But yeah,
fall in love, very strong phrasing. That could be somewhat different, couldn't it?
Apparently, if Daily Mail said that, he said he fell in love with her, but there was some messages
to an inside
written.
source.
There was flowers ordered with a note written saying about his love for her. But again, that's the Daily Mail. That is not me. But yeah, I do I understand it. I don't know. Is it because it's sport?
It's because it's in a workplace environment, isn't it? That's why.
Yeah, but I don't think if it was in an office, it's the same.
It's not in an office, but she's part of the staff, and she's the team. You just said she's the team dietitian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so what if you developed a relationship with one of your fellow players, Max? Then what? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to be you'd have to be fairly transparent at some point about it, though, wouldn't you?
Well, I'm just wondering if they come out that Elton Jantjies had fallen. I keep saying fallen in love. Listen to me, such a romantic.
I know,
bloody romantic.
Isn't that the only thing that happens?
Let's say Jantjies have been found out to have been having an affair with another player. Then what? Does he get sent home?
Yeah, because he's still got a wife and kids.
So is that?
So we're saying it's the wife and kids.
Yeah.
Well, in this regard.
So what? So if it was a squad of 30 singletons, they could everybody just be railing each other.
You still have to behave. You still have to conduct yourself in a certain way. You can't be just throwing PDAs around in the world.
I'm just trying to create the conversation.
We can't be having mad just keeping everyone up. That's not. Anyway, I'm getting weird. I'm conjecturing about something.
You know what? Before we start discussing gangbangs, let's move towards sort of the actual rugby.
In love, mate.
Mass loving situations. Let's actually talk about some great games from the weekend, starting with yours, Sir Leif. Obviously, the Prem's now finally kicked off.
Ooh, yeah.
Managing to snatch a victory from the jaws of defeat against arch rivals Bath. Ellis Genge two brilliant tries. Max, how bloody good was he?
Yeah, he was invigorated, wasn't he? There was something going on there. He was fueled by the Bristolian in him. Yeah, it was class. He was, in his own words, after that first try, unplayable, lads. I'm unplayable. It was beautiful. I was loving it. I was just feeding off it at half time. It was so good. Yeah, man, he was class. He was so good to have around. It was such good vibes. But yeah, we did get slightly lucky at some points, but our indiscipline sort of fueled and fed Bath and kept them in the game. But it was a class game, absolutely, and the crowd was rocking. It's a shame that the game got postponed because I imagine Ashton Gate would have been absolutely full Friday night. But yeah, awesome game. We got to shake hands with Sir Dave Smugwood at the end of it and stuff. So all good fun. See the old boys. Yeah.
It did look jumping, to be fair. It looked absolutely buzzing down there.
Absolutely.
And so did everywhere, to be fair. Like Exeter, the game at Exeter, the game at Gloucester. I think everyone's bloody excited just to have rugby back, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. That was a great game as well. First 10 was a bit, but Gloucester came back strong. Unbelievable scenes. Yes, Delon. It's a long time no see, my guy.
Very long time.
Well, we are delighted to be joined by ex-England international and triple European champion, Delon Armitage. Delon, how's it going, sir?
Yeah, not too bad. Just recovering from the weekend, as you can hear in my voice.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. Hi, Ryan. Hi, mate. Hi, Ryan.
Yeah,
so, I went to Toulouse. They do that water rugby where they put a pitch on the and you go on there. You have to score, you have to dive in the water. Didn't realise the water's actually worse than the Thames, so colour-wise and taste-wise. So, yeah. Not sure if I swallowed water or it was the alcohol consumption.
There's some different rules to it, Because I actually saw they did one in Oz, don't they? Down at Manly Wharf, Max.
That's it. I think it's a spin-off from that one. Because I was speaking to Drew Mitchell and that. So Jan de Leg started it about 4 years ago, this one. They did it in nicer places, Barrett's, and they used to do it up in the slopes as well, ski. They used to have a snow one as well. So I've joined the budget one really now at the moment. So horrible.
Delon, speaking of getting into the French setup, you, I heard, got rejected from the under-16s for being too tall and skinny. Take us back to the moment you sort of got given that news and what the experience was like.
Yeah, it was so. Well, when I moved to France when I was 13, and obviously, it took me a while to get through culture, learning the language. It took me 7, 8 months. We went straight to normal school, so I started training there training with Nice, back and forth. Got into the Provence, got into the Côte d'Azur and all that areas. Trials. Then in France, they do something called a top 100. So top 100 players, they go train, then they cut it down to 50, then they cut it down to 25, which is then the team they're going to select for that squad. Remember, went all the way down, got in, everything was nice. And then, that was, my French reading wasn't very good at the time. So I thought, that's very good. I'll send it off to these academy clubs, Toulouse, Narbonne at the time, brilliant. And they weren't, mate, it says that you're too, tall, skinny, they're not going to, you know what I mean? We're not going to take you in your academy. So that pretty much butchered my chances of playing. But I did get called up. I did 16s and we put 60 points on England, which was just quite nice. Some of those guys I joined the academy, they were with me when I joined London Irish a few years later on, which was a bit embarrassing. But yeah, it was very embarrassing because I wish I'd never told the world that exactly what they said, skinny like, because now I remember my whole career, what they call Twiglet, what does he call him? Neil Hatley, that was my nickname.
Yeah, Twiglet.
Have you ever seen a bag of Twiglet? Like the crisp? Please don't look it up. It's horrible. I pulled it like skinny legs and it's all dangled up.
Yeah.
So that was my nickname at London Irish for a while until I made up my own. Started calling myself Dilo, wasn't it? So Dilo, the baddest man in town. So I got rid of that. Straight to the wrestler. Look nothing like him. Still a twig, but I'll take it. But yeah, after that, for instance, it actually gave me a boost. I went on tour with my old club, Richmond. We toured New Zealand, Australia, and Fiji. Really enjoyed that tour. Gave me because I stopped playing after that, 16 onwards for a year. Just went a bit loose, forgot about sports, and that tour kind of changed my life. Gave me a bit of a purpose. Ended up moving back within a week of coming back from that tour to England. I'm staying with one of my friends. Started playing for Richmond. I was quite lucky because they were quite low in the leagues. So when I went in at 17, they were winning 60 points to 0 against, team down and low because they went bust, didn't they? And then, yeah, I happened to get a contract from Irish out of that. So it just all escalated, which was really, for me, after that, I thought that was the end of me ever playing rugby, which I didn't mind because I was a footballer. Not that you could tell the way, my attitude, the way I did things over my career, but, loved football, loved cricket. I was born in West Indies, Bryan, Lara, for me, all those guys. And then Dwight York in football, obviously, when he was here, West Indies boy. So, yeah, football was my thing and kind of fell into rugby. Running away from slow white guys was quite easy for me. So put me on the wing, give me the ball.
Before you got snapped up by London Irish, though, wasn't there an awkward trial day due to you not being at public school? Something ridiculous like that. So that's a different one. So I, coming back from France, I went to Richmond College, which is a state school. Obviously, college is not. And I got into, I don't know how, Middlesex schools, and then I went to England trial schools at Coscroft, where at the time, I think it's changed now, you had clubs, which I should have been with, and England schools. So I ended up going to this with kids of Whitgift, John Fisher, Wellington, all the crew. And I remember reading so they send you the letter, you're invited, you're Coscroft, turn up at this time, bring your school uniform. I remember I kind of ignored it for a couple of weeks, and then I remembered about it, and I said to my gym teacher at school, we don't have it. What's our uniform? He said, we don't have one. So he said, oh, don't worry, I'll order you something from the college and it'll be fine. So I remember I went to Coscroft, turned up, so everyone's getting changed after the game and they're putting their suit, tie, school, and that. And then I looked at what he gave me, it was still in the wrapper, got me a hoodie. I thought, it's nothing worse to hide that kind of state school hoodie with Richmond College on it. So I remember walking in the room, trying to stay in the corner. You have all of the boys from Whitgift, from John, and they're all I remember Mark Foster, the first Foster. I get on hold with him, but he's the first. No, he gets some voices. And I thought, just one of those just embarrassing. But for me, it was, even in France, they don't have uniforms, so it would have been the same. Well, probably not a hoodie, probably a polo top or something would have been, or just a shirt.
Yeah.
He sent me there with a hoodie, and I'm like, do I put it up? Do I put it down? And I sat in the corner with it up, just gutted.
Oh, again, some of the uniforms that come out of the boys that they go to Wellington and place like that. So,
it's full Hogwarts.
Full Hogwarts.
Yeah, exactly. Hogwarts about the spells, boys.
Fucking hell. Oh, that's priceless.
Yeah, so that was my first experience of public school boys. So yeah, so I think from that day, I think I spent my whole career just trying to fit in. All these wealthy boys. I remember I used to, when I got into the academy 18, started getting, I mean, I was on $3,000 a year, 250 a month, had a academy house, loving it. And I wanted to fit in, and, you know, boys used to go out and they had lovely, like, polo top, Ralph Lauren and all that. I remember I went to get one, it was like a green, remember how there's like yellow down the middle, green here, and a big Ralph Lauren like thing on it. 80 quid. And I was like, no, I bought this just to go out. And I think I wore it twice because someone else had it in the club, so I never wore it again. Like 80 quid out of my 250 budget for the month. So yeah, it was back to beans on toast. Yeah.
Did any ever have that sort of thing in the French culture, you know, both sort of in and out of rugby when you were involved?
Something like Richie Gray said he'd get taken the piss out of for doing extra fitness when he was in France.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd take the piss out of him for trying to do extras. And he said he had to go around the back pitch where no one could see him and do his fucking lengths because he said if he did it, they'd all come out and shout at him and give him abuse.
Yeah, no, they do. Yeah, I've seen that in Toulon was the same. I think Ashton would have probably talked about it as well. Actually, he got there. He was the fittest guy there. I mean, when I got there, you know, they started writing people, oh, he's come so fit. I just come back from the World Cup straight in. Because I said the French, very laid back. You do what you're told to do and that's it. Why are you doing extras, high ball catching? Training's finished. You know, they find it a bit embarrassing. So watching Johnny do it, like, really killed them. Like, you know, we'd be waiting on the bus. We're going to semi-finals, waiting on the bus. The plane's actually waiting as well. Always private jet. And Johnny's practicing without a ball, like, just going through motions. We're all sitting on the bus, like, watching him go through the motion. You could just see the French, like... But normally they're quite laid back and chilled. They're all like, what's he doing? Why? He's no ball. He's in the tracksuit. Why? What's that gonna do? And yeah, so. But what was good with Johnny though, that he changed that for the young kids coming up because now they started, you know, doing stuff and following what he's doing, the extra training, and they thought it was brilliant. But I loved it because he used to go, "Why are you training so long?" Because I did extra kicking with him after, and he said, "I only do it because I need him." Like mentally for me, but why are they training for like an hour after the session's done? Like he couldn't understand what other people was doing. I was like, because of you. Why are you doing that? But he needed that for his mental. So I do like, okay, 15 minutes, they're done. Like, but while you're talking, the time's still going. Like, if you're explaining to me that is between the 15 minutes. So yeah, I did a lot of work with him. He tried to get in my head because I think he just doesn't understand how I couldn't give a shit about what people thought about me, or I just got on, you know what I mean? I'm kind of an easygoing guy, like, whereas I'm going to live my life. If it affects the team and they've got people around me, then, you know, I need to fix up if they tell me. Other than that, like, you know, I've been out with Max and the boys. I've been taught from the senior boys, you know, you look after the young guys when you go out. They shouldn't have to play, but they have to go get it. They have to go get it though. So they have to carry like 6 drinks, whatever. They go, and they didn't have to pay. You know, get one for yourself. And that's how I was brought, old school way. And you take a slap every now and then if you're out of place. Yeah, that's all gone now.
Yeah, sad, man. Sad. Great memories. Great memories. I still remember you beating Marlon down the bus because he didn't sing the song properly.
Oh, the shoes, you've got to get the shoes up.
The shoe up. Yeah. Oh, that was funny.
I learned early doors, get into London Irish. I got into so you're in the academy, obviously the academy have their own change room. You move into the first team, you know, you go and find a seat, preferably in a corner somewhere. I remember I put my bag next to Rob Hardwick. I thought, you know, yeah, I'm in with the boys out training, great time. Come back in after doing my extras, which means talking crap to someone at the end of in the tunnel in the dugout. Yeah, and my whole stuff was in the showers, so I just went home, wet my bags in the showers, and that for me was, you know, not funny at the time, but it's you know, building. You know what I mean? It got me. I don't know how angry I was at the time, but I don't know if you remember Rob Hardwick.
I joined.
You're not
He
gonna
was
go
like
to-
the Irish legend at the time. Yeah, mate, that you're showing your age there.
Bald
But yeah,
head, prop,
bald,
huge.
dude.
I think he
Yeah,
was a Coventry hooligan, wasn't he? Like prop football. So you just say nothing.
Ellen,
And
do
then
you know what I
Steve-
love though? I fucking love that you told that story because you won't have a clue or remember this at all. But I was in the gold. I came to that gold squad for a bit at London Irish Max, and I came in and I was like, "Boys, where do I go?" And they're like, "Oh, go in there, get changed in there." And they sent me in. I think it was the first team change room. And I put my bag in there, and you boys came in after, and it was you and Topsy Ojo. I remember. And you walked in. I was like,
Man.
what the fuck are you doing in here? And I was like, oh, shit. I was like 16, 17. I was like, oh no, sorry, mate. So I fucking got my shit, put it in my bag and ran out and fucking went and got changed somewhere else. But to this day, I'm exactly the same with the young boys need to fucking learn the hard way. It's a sad fucking era that we're missing out on now. Like, you're not allowed to. But that is, for me, just what happened. And it's so funny that you say that happened to you because you fucking did it to me.
I've done it to a few people, but I'm quite joking with it. You can see some of the guys are very. I mean, even in the meeting, I remember, one of the senior players. So you had the meetings. I'm the young guy in there. We played Leeds at home, and my stats came back for the week. No tackles in defence, no carries, nothing for 80 minutes. Literally didn't touch anything, tackled. There was nothing for 80 minutes. So they put it up on the board, and we were sitting there having a chat and that. And then Gary go, any questions? What's happening? And I was like, well, the reason I'm not touching because we just kick chase and I don't get to touch the ball. And he was, what? You want to touch what? And I remember Barry Everett slapping going, if you ever open your mouth again in the meeting, right? He said, until you've had 50 or 10 games for this first team, shut your fucking mouth. I don't want to hear a word from you. And then he went, actually, no, scrap that until you're fucking 23, shut your mouth. I remember not even every day since then, I had my little book, never talk to me, and just writing what I wanted to ask and just keeping it in my head, not one word. And it was just like that. And at the time, every time I see him, I mention it to him about it, and he just cracks up. He's like, you have to learn, mate. You have to learn. I was like, but if I didn't, what would you have done? I don't know, but you would have got. We had to kick the dog, didn't we, as well?
What's that?
Remember, kick the dog. I think Bishy had a few of them where you just put him in the corner. If you keep talking, what kangaroo means, you got to go in the corner like that, and you just get kicked by everyone if you won't shut up.
No, one of the worst was Hats making me clear out the tin alphabetically.
Oh, yeah.
So you get everything out the tin, so all the sausages, all the tackle suits, and you got to put them all out alphabetically. Oh, that was long. That was so long.
Like
and then
a
scrubbing each of the
storage
balls
container.
with a brush. He wants them like Hats would get us to take all the balls after, and Sunbury, it was on the avenue again, muddy, January way. And then you just have to scrub all the balls clean. Because Tell couldn't do anything because he had hands just full of psoriasis. He was like a gecko human. Just couldn't remember Tell. Oh, but that man, it was funny. But yeah, he couldn't do a thing as a kit man. So you'd have to do all the academy lads would just have to march in and do all this stuff for him. It was great shit.
That's gone. I reckon you get in trouble if you've got the academy to do that now. Honestly, that's a sad thing.
Yeah, I think they've got to want to do it. I think a lot of stuff has changed now. I remember when we had Dick Best back in the day, the academy, you weren't allowed to see the first team. So you'd have to come and do your weights at 7. When the first team go home, and then come back when they'd left. Contracts negotiation, he wouldn't let your agent in the office.
You'd be like, you're signing it. Yeah.
You get a sheet of paper, you write down how much you want, slide it under the door, it'll come back. Fuck no. Put another come back. No. So we're standing outside this door office with the agent and this piece of paper running out of space. You don't know what to offer, how much you want. He's going, no. And then I remember that was Dick. Let's moved on to Connor. You can live comfortably on that. So that's the lowest pay of anyone. No, you can live comfortably on that. I promise you'll be fine. No. But it's just character building, wasn't it, London Irish, I think, at those times.
Yeah, man, it was a bootstrap operation. It was class.
We knew the club didn't have money. We had a lot of talent, a lot of good players coming through the academy. Club, we couldn't invest, your Baths, your Gloucesters and all the big clubs. But we had a good culture. And the boys, we all looked after, even from the first team down. I think some of the times, a few kids got broken, but that's what happens. That was kind of our culture because we had a Colin Palmer who was like, from the military, Colonel Palmer, and the academy house, who come with the white glove. On Monday, from 7 o'clock, beds need to be made. You're standing outside with white gloves, making sure, everything's clean in the academy house. So I accidentally burned it down because I didn't clean my room. So we're training. Stop laughing. So we're training on the first team pitch. We've got training. One of the players, Declan Danner, comes down. Delon on the field, like Brendan Venter's coaching, like how he is and that. We see that smoke over there, that's your house. It's getting burnt down, like academy. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because honestly, they just run the club. So I started running off the pitch. Brendan's like, Dan. I was like, well, my house burned down. He's like, what? Are you from the fire brigade? He went to me, get back and train. So did my training. As soon as it's done, ran, boom, got in the car, went to the house. The whole house, like the bedrooms come down through the kitchen and everything was gone. I remember Toby Booth going to me, at least your Timberlands survived, they're waterproof, like the only thing that were on my Timbs. So they were asking like how the fire happened and that. And that was my other nickname that came from hats and Grill Pan Armitage. So we were cooking breakfast, I think, toast, and we were late for training, left it in the house. And this house was owned by, I think, Steve Williams, like second row for Wales, big man, like he's turned up with his wife. That was their first house, had their first kid there. Oh, she's crying. I can see him wandering over, and I'm backing away, going behind Toby Booth in the car and just trying to hide in this big second row. He's looking at his wife crying, looking at me like he's going to kill me. And I'm like, oh no, I need to get, and he's like, yeah, you need to leave. Like, so yeah, that's how I got my Grill Pan Armitage name. But yeah, like I said, character building was lovely.
Things were obviously going very well for Irish. You made your England debut in 2008, subsequent man of the match, if I remember rightly, but didn't the actual call-up come out of the blue a little bit?
Yeah, funny story, yeah, a couple of phone calls that I ignored from Jono. Boothie came in, Toby Booth came in and he's like, mate, you just hung up on Martin Johnson twice, like, you should probably call him back. At the time, I was like, quite sure. I was like, can you call him back? No, I can't call him back for you. He's just said, if you're not down to Penny Hill in 15 minutes, don't bother coming, kind of. So I was like, so what do I take? He's just go as you are. So I jumped in my Fiat Uno, down the M3, automatic, shaking down. I was doing about 90 and the car's shaking all over. Get to Penny Hill. Don't know if you guys have been there. 6-star spa, and I'm doing this rusty band up Fiat Uno that I bought for 100 quid from Gary Gold. So I've gone there by the roundabout. The problem with it, if you don't hold the brakes, it goes, so you got lights, the handbrakes, it's like shuddering forward, so you have to kind of turn the switch off the engine. So I get there at the front desk, sorry, pretty much, you lost, mate, because obviously you got Jags and Rangers and, celebs all go there, and I'm in this Fiat Uno, just coming out of London Irish kit, and they're like, you lost, mate. No, I'm supposed to be training. They're like, how on? Leave the car there. I saw that, so I can't. Like, let me tell me where the parking is. I'll go and park. I can't. It's like, no, that's fine. Leave the car. I said, I can't. I said, look, and I explained it to him about the brake thing, and he's like, do you know that kind of, I've driven millions of cars, mate, just because the Fiat, and I know what, switched it off. Here's your key. No worries. Got my kit bag, went. And there's like a bit of an arch as you walk around to go to the rooms and that. And I thought, I was late already and I thought, I'm just going to watch this. So he started it up. Because back in the day, you didn't have to press the brakes to start a car up and just put the key in and you turn it. And he did. I think he took out the front edge of the Penny Hill, like where all the plants are. And I'm just like, oh. So I've started running. I was like, that's not my problem anymore. Like literally ran, got changed, went to training, but like panicking, thinking, is that my fault kind of thing? Am I in trouble? So I remember coming back and John was like, Fiorino's in the bush up there. It's just crazy, like, aren't they? Just like put my hand up. I was so embarrassed. The next day, I promised you, the next day, John was like taking me up to the car park, and I've got a black ML Mercedes next week. Like after that, like because he had a deal with them and knew someone from there, and I was just like, what are we gonna do with the Fiat? Like, you know what you need to do with that.
Fuck off. So what? He sorted you out of a brand new
Yeah,
work?
so he was, well, I don't know if you knew something like that. Yesterday, I just went on that Mercedes deal like from nowhere. I think it's probably because of my first cap. Yeah, I got abused for that as well.
That's unbelievable.
Because I think he said something like the best debut or something. So the boys gave me a lot of stick for that. And then the car turns up, and then it was like, I was like, can you stop? Where are you sleeping tonight, Dylan? I remember the one that stuck with me. I remember we were playing the All Blacks, and I think that was my third test, and it was Tuesday. We just finished session. Half the boys were going home. So he got the team in a huddle with Martin Johnson. She started going, ranting. That player, I want you to step on him if he's there. Comes this. I looking around, I'm thinking, whoa, like, it's Tuesday. Like, he's pumping us up for Saturday, and it's Tuesday. I remember being next to Ego and Lewis Moody, and I like caught eye with Lewis and I went, like nothing. And then Lewis went, thanks, John Edburn, like, yeah, it's Tuesday. And he went, oh, yeah, sorry. Look, guys, have a good day off tomorrow, and I will come in Thursday, we'll get ready. Ego goes to me, wasn't sure if I had to bring a knife or get tooled up. Like, I was going to these John as I crack. And I'm like, boy, sorry, but like gone red, like proper, like ready to. I thought we were playing in an hour the way he was going. And it was just like, so I said to the boys, is it like this, you know, in the change room, like when before playing again? Because obviously I'm with the South Africans, like Irish, you know, you got Bob Casey, you know, but this was literally, we're going to war. Like, you're going to go harm someone. Like, it was, he's just lost it completely. And it was a player that I don't think he, like, well, I know the guy, but I don't think he really respected him too much. He thought he was, obviously the Leicester boys are very boring. Put it straight out there. Leicester boys boring. Back in those days, black boots, no colours, no nothing. I don't know how cold he's still going, boring. And they were all in there, you know. Yeah, I remember people, I think even Marla turned up. He had a Mohican, and I think he dyed it, trying to get rid of that. No, didn't see Marla again. Until Jono was gone from manager. That's the early days he got. It was literally like that with Jono. It was forwards, wear black boots, we work hard, there's no. And Ali Williams, basically for the All Blacks, is a kind of obviously same position, you know, a lot of talk in the press, relax, showing off, laughing. Obviously, Jono wasn't that person. So basically wanted us, you know, to hurt, well, not me personally, because skinny me twinkler at the back isn't going to be hurting anyone. So, but yeah, it was basically like just, yeah, going. I remember telling Ali that story. He goes, oh, I like that, because everyone likes to be talked about. Everyone likes to be threatening the other team, doesn't it? I was like, mate, if Jono played, you wouldn't have come off the field, mate. Everyone likes it. He goes, yeah, I know. But yeah, so yeah, no, I honestly, that was like my first 3-4 weeks at Autumn Zone. Like, just learning, you know, meeting the new guys, and just feeling that am I good enough to be here, kind of thing. You know what I mean? These are the best players in the country. Yeah, in the end, yeah, got lucky. I guess I played against some friends, and they let me get away with some stuff. The Pacific Islanders, let's say, no one broke my ribs, so I was lucky. Apart from the last minute, horrible. So last minute just comes on Twickenham. Now it's the man of the match. I was like so happy. I was like, yeah, brilliant. They get counter attack. Selassie Plagadakenback gets the ball 1-on-1. Like, you know, he beat, 10 people. Like, he's so strong. He hands me off. My leg go up in the air, spinning, like smash down to the ground, and ran past. Not only that, Mapasua, who I obviously played with in the centres, London Irish for a while, I can hear him, and he's got the worst laugh, like a high, like laughing as a game. I'm just like so embarrassed. Just been announced man match, big handoff, flip around, legs everywhere, and they're all giggling at the breakdown like that. So I was like, please blow the whistle. I was gutted. Like, everything was, up until then, for me, was just like, yeah, it was kind of like the perfect game for me, like to try and get in the squad. So yeah, that was pretty awkward.
Oh, I remember when Boofy would do some of those drills, like the full contact drills, yeah, and he'd get Lossie and Stefan to like test the forwards out. Man, it actually got awkward sometimes. It got awkward. They'd just run through us like every time. So you'd have like all these like grizzled vets trying to tackle them, and they had no chance. Like Lossie was bumping them, stepping them, fending them. It got weird. It got so awkward. And then Steph would take a turn, and then everyone was just like, nah, this ain't even fair. They were like literally the go-to geezers at that point. They were freak shows. I don't even understand that.
Pumba was tough, wasn't he, little Steph? Pumba.
Oh, yeah. He could move.
So low as well.
Yeah. Yeah, do you remember that with Kerry Jones, where he threw him on his back, mate? He's just uppercutted him, essentially. I was just like, what the hell? Yeah, man.
I think that was one of those sessions, most embarrassing moment for me as well. So my younger brother, Guy, came into the first team squad, and we used to do 4-on-4 defence. He bumped me every single time, and I got so annoyed. I actually went with a swinging arm for my young brother, like trying to
yeah.
Everyone's like, you're right, mate. I think I called Homer as well. I was like,
yeah, I remember Homer.
With a cheap shot.
You were like, never do that again.
Twinkling just getting bumped. I was like, yeah, run up again. Same. Do the same. Boom, he beat me. I was like, oh, do it again, big.
Homer told me, he goes, I just beat Delon in the next breakdown. He just dropped an elbow on me.
Yeah, nasty. Not proud of those stuff, man. Not proud. When I look back on it now, it's just like, why?
Or would you have done it differently, though?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That was part of your thing, bro. That was your edge. That was what made you. I know some of it was like, you can get red. Like, you should get redhead every now and again, but I reckon it made you who you were.
Sometimes, like my whole career, you go back and you look at stuff and you think, well, why did you get involved? Well, why did you do that? Like, and everyone's like, do you have any regrets? I was like, well, when I did get banned, I only did it once, everything. I never got banned for the same thing. So I did learn from it, technically. Just didn't learn from the other stuff. So, I mean, like, and also prolonged my career. Do you imagine if I didn't have all those bans, those years off, I'd have retired at 30. So, I always had it in the good times, wasn't it? It's always between December, January, February, those kind of cold times. I wouldn't be playing.
Yeah, you and Chris Alafia were just like, nah, we're gonna get a sabbatical for this part of the season, lads. See you later.
I know. I was looking at it, and the players. I was hoping I'd get it. So Hartley obviously beat me, and apparently until a few months ago, I had the most yellow cards in a season. And I think Danny Kerr just stole that from me. So
yeah, he did. Right.
He did. Didn't he? He did. Thank you. Those records that they can have, I don't mind. You can have those ones.
Delon, you and Manny made, as you've told us a little bit there, the headlines for good and for some bad reasons. There was a memorable one in 2011, though, when you got in a fight with a doping official and then got banned. What happened?
Yeah, so I love that when that came up. The worst. I actually was so disappointed with the club about it, because the club, they said to me, "Oh no, just say you're guilty and you'll be fine." And I was like, "Well, I can't say because basically when you go into these, you're either guilty or not guilty." So I said, "Well, I'm not, because what happened was, I'll explain. From the game, we played Bath, I think on Boxing Day or New Year's Day. We lose in the last minute. They set up a maul. I didn't know if you could do it. Bob Casey just pulled it down right in front of the post. Ollie Barker kicks the 3, we lose the game. So I'm going down Delon Armitage, and as you walk down the stairs, I'm like heading towards the change room, obviously angry at the game. I probably shook 2 hands and just, right, I need to get out here. And someone's like grabbed me here, and I've gone, fuck off, like that. Didn't even turn around and look. And that was assault. Swore at him, I was aggressive behaviour, and something else. And I remember it was funny because you have to go and sit in a room. I said, follow me, just give me 1 second, let me take my boots off. So he sat with me and we were talking, and we went into the room, the doping room. And I remember I was with Davey, a few of the other players, and and we were talking, everything's fine. And then he writes the report, So I rang up some of the boys that was in there, and I was like, was I really that bad? Like, he's like, no, with what? So with the doping officer, apparently, like, I was being aggressive and I told him I was going to kill him, I'm this and that. And he went, really? I was like, and so Davey went to me, look, mate, if you want me to come with you, like, I was in there the whole time with you, rubbish, he was talking, you were telling him about your kids and about his grandchildren and everything, and it's all fine. So anyway, like, and I said, no, it's fine, but I was just trying to find out because I didn't remember that, like, the way he put it in the report. So anyway, they said, oh, no, you're going to be fine. Plead guilty, you'll be slapped on the wrist, nothing's going on. But the problem is, it was coming up to the Olympics. So for them, this, the doping stuff was going to be bang. So they were going to make, of anyone in any sport, this was going to be. So when I went in and they were telling me about it, and the guy came in, and I'm like, literally, he was saying, I feared for my life. And there's a lot to him, like, this guy's like 6'75", and I went, really? Like, you fear for your life, like security guards everywhere at clubs. You can't do it. And I was like, really, and I said, look, I'm sorry if I made you feel like that, but I don't know at any stage where maybe me going like that, not looking at it, maybe it did, but someone pulls you coming off a field like that. I didn't even look. So I apologized to him and that, and I thought, what, this can't be that. Yeah, we're going to give you 8 weeks. So sorry, 8 weeks for, and I said, oh, well, can we come back? Like, I can appeal it because, at least I can bring a student in and I can bring all these guys. No, it's done here. 8 weeks, that's it. Oh, that's not fair, though. Like, you told me it's nothing. I come here, I'm not allowed to bring any witness. I'm not allowed to have people that were actually there. I have to plead guilty because obviously I did. This is what they kept going, did you hit him? Well, I knocked his hand off. Did you hit him? Well, I knocked his hand off my top. Did you hit him? Did you swear? Yes. At him? Well, no, because I was facing that way. He was behind me. 8 weeks.
Was this with the RFU? Was it?
Well, yeah, but so these guys, well, the RFU pay them, don't they? So they're all in the same. So even if so a lot of players used to appeal things. Stupid, you're just wasting money and your time because they all work together. There's no way you're going to make a decision. I'm going to go, yeah, my mate said 8 weeks, so I'm going to give you 4. No. Because now it makes him look like a clown, like, for not doing his job properly. So I never, like, the club always wanted to, I'm not interested in appealing anything, because I know they all work together, the same company on the same roof. What am I going to get? Probably more, if anything. So yeah, that was my incident with it. So I kept it all, like, loads of stuff, and I just feel like now, like I was almost a scapegoat for them. Because some of the stuff that I got, I remember Owen Farrell came in for one. He had a disciplinary. They lost the papers, so they let him off. I was like, I said, I had 6 emails on what you were going to do to me. How'd you lose those papers on emails? Like, so, I mean, there was loads of stuff I used to hear, or stuff that people did as well that got less than me. But because as a player, I'm not going to show. So imagine you high tackle someone, you did the same thing. Me showing a video of you doing it after you got away with it doesn't look too good, does it? Like, as a player, like trying to stitch up another player because you want to get less time. So I always just went, all right, I'll take it. I'll go have a little holiday somewhere and come back in and be all right. I wish. Straight into fitness, Alan Ryan it was.
Straight runways for days.
Runways, that's it. Runways every day. And that England testing.
Oh.
So yeah, no, that was it. But yeah, look, obviously, when I look back on it, if I'd taken a deep breath, like all the other boys, shaking everyone's hand, probably would never have happened. Had time to calm down. But stormed out like a child after losing. And probably deserve to get in trouble.
Talk me through, Dylan, for this. Described as your greatest work. It's probably not the best way to put it, but you did get quite a long ban for coming together with a Leicester fan in a car park. Again, post a defeat. I think it was with Toulon. Take us through like how that escalated.
So I don't even know where the car park came. I probably offered him around a car park, but there was no car park. It was.
There is, right. That's what we were talking about last week.
There it is.
The worst bit is, so I actually got called up for 2 things at the time. One was one of the crowd said, or someone from the crowd reported that I called him an inbred. I was like, I don't even speak, so I can. So when that came up and went into the district for it, they said, well, they've got witnesses. I was like, oh, well, brilliant, because I don't, I didn't know that would be brilliant. Like, tell me when and show me. So it's videos, me around talking with Drew and that. And Drew was with me, Mitchell, like, came as a witness. And it was like, when they said, and they showed me the video when Drew was there. So Drew was like, well, I was there, you never even spoke. So he came. Anyway, I was going through, I was like, so we sat there, I was like, okay, this will be interesting with a witness. So they ring up the witness. They didn't even come on the phone. First one didn't answer, the next one. And then two of them came in. Then a third one, I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? So they introduced themselves. One was an uncle, one was a cousin, and one was a sister. That was the witnesses for me to get. I'm looking at my, I'm going, not being funny. He's like, shush, don't say. I'm not being funny. He's like, shush. I'm like, okay. I just sat there. He said, sit up straight, I'm sitting up. To be fair, opposite, the barracks just went, no, we can't have that. So we'll move on to the other one. So I've walked across the field. I was with Jordan Murphy at the time. We were having a chat like, about the game, Toulon Leicester, and we were having a chat about it. And as we got across, a group of lads, a couple of beers there in the stand. So, where the food is next to it. And I was signing autographs, thinking, guys go, hey, Stefan. And as you know, I hate that. Because it's basically someone saying, like, I'm short and I can't grow and I eat loads of food. So I was like, I'm not having that. I was like, all right, mate. And, I've had a drink and I was, yeah, how they do it, and they're together. And I was just like, yeah, mate, you must be loads of fun on the place and that. He's like, what? You can't take it? Well, I was like, oh, shut up. And then it went from that. I probably did say, look, you're tough here with your mates in the stand. Let's go around the corner in the car park and see how tough you are. And that was it. But the stewardess, again, was there, and he told him to can't leave it. Like, but again, he wasn't allowed to come to be a witness. It was almost like every time it was like, no. And even in the papers, I remember reading the paper the next day, and someone had put that I told him I was going to rip his face off. So I was like, where did that even come from? And then so that got taken down, and then it just turned into. I remember, I think it was Chris.
Nothing actually happened. It was just
no, nothing. Literally verbal like that in the stand.
And how long did you get banned for?
Oh, I think about 5 weeks or 4 or 5 weeks for that. I think.
Fucking hell.
So nothing actually happened. It was just verbal, like whatever, mate. But again. Why am I react? Do you know what I mean? It's just, I can't step.
Yeah, and that's when you started wearing that T-shirt. Why always me?
Balotelli one. Why always
the Balotelli one.
Yeah, that's my favourite T-shirt for a while.
But why those things always seem to? It's kind of unfair. They always those bits get talked up. But then we had, James O'Connor came on here. He was. Really sort of honest about his struggles with alcohol, drug abuse at Toulon. And the day he almost died on the team bus, you saved him. And we didn't really, you hadn't really heard that. But in any case, take us through your side of the story from there.
My side of the story, I can't remember, we had an away game. And as you do on the bus, got your losers at the front who are on their phone watching films. Got your middle guys who will have a sip, 1 or 2 drinks, not too keen. You got back of the bus music guys, and just in front of that, where the tables are, you got your poker boys. Cards. You have to be in it. If you're not playing cards, you can't sit there. And where we had that table in Toulon, underneath we had like little coolers for drinks and that. So if you won a game, that'll be full. If you haven't, maybe one side might have a couple, unless the bus driver used to send them out before the game ended. Anyway, sat there with James. Opposite, and a few of us were playing. All of a sudden, he's like twitching around. I'm thinking, like, he's opposite me. I'm quite a squeamish kind of guy. I don't like stuff like that. Like, I don't even watch horror movies. I don't. And the way he's like twitching, I straight away kind of jumped up on my seat. I'm like, wait, this ain't good, and like banging his head on the window kind of thing. And I'm thinking, nah, this isn't right. And then all of a sudden he went and just like frozen, like really biting that. Now that scared me, so I've jumped over my back's in the back where I was screaming and Bassero starts screaming as well. Like we're all like scream like for the doctor to come, but I'm like panicking, like shaking. So I've jumped and then I thought, right, we've got to do something. So I was like, right, pull him laying down. So next thing, the Georgian Mamuka's like, right, we've got to, he'll swallow his tongue and try and go. But where he's biting, I was like, mate, you put that finger in, that's gone. Like, so he decides, okay then, I'll throw some punches because if I knock him out, he'll relax. I was like, mate, he's dead. Like, and so he starts punching him. I'm like, mate, you're just, what are you doing? You're gonna knock his teeth out, like, where he's trying to like put him out cold. Like, he said, no, if he's out cold, then we can take his, he won't swallow his tongue. You can put your finger. I was like, no, stop that. So like, I put him out, where he's like really stiff, his whole body, like stuck between the chin. That's getting done, and we put him down in the middle. So I'm still screaming at the doctor. This has gone a couple of minutes. Like, it felt like hours. Like, what it feels like he's gone blue. He stopped moving. He stopped breathing. So doc's at the front. I was screaming. She's come down. It's fine, as you do. We've got like 3 minutes. We can bring him back. He'll be fine. It's okay. It's all good. Nice and relaxed, coming down. And I'm like, I've got to put him in the position, holding him there, his head, everything. But he's like blue. So I'm sweating now. I'm like, this guy's died. Like, it's the first time someone in my hand. Like, she's there, boom, first day, boom. He's come back, like, and he's like lying there. Now they've stopped the bus on the motorway. Everyone's shut down off the bus. All I can remember in my head is like one lobber going, can you move? And I was like, what? It's like, can you get out of the way? And I was like, what do you mean? He's got James's leg where he's just like coming back, lifted it up. He's gone in there, freeze there, and starts grabbing beers out. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm going to be waiting for him for a while. So this guy's just almost dying. He's running back grabbing some beers. I looked at him and he's like, what? Clean, like walking down the side of the motorway with beers.
I think Mamuka's still throwing haymakers.
Imagine! We'll pacify him with Mamuka's hands. What?
So James gets up, doesn't have a clue who I am. So he's looking at me like, the doctor's like, talk to, because obviously his French wasn't, so I'm speaking, not a clue who I was. My brother was there helping as well, Steph. I think he only knew who Steph was, no one else. So that was kind of weird. So I was like, well, look to the door, you don't know who I am, so I'm just going to grab a beer as well. And then walk down. So we had to wait there, and we were literally waiting down. He had to wait for the ambulance, and they came on the side of the motorway. We were there for like hours waiting for them. Got him on there. He didn't want to go. He was in hospital for like, I think 3 days, and just, I didn't know. For me, like, that was just, I didn't even know what's he taking, because he wasn't drinking. He was just playing cards, and obviously we were having a few beers, and it just, when he just stiffened up, like, I was screaming, like it's like a film. You see when just one black person starts running, every other black person runs. That was me, like, just run. Don't ask questions, just go. Worry about it later. That was literally me, like, headlights. And I'm glad he's all right. I heard it happen before as well. He was lucky, I think, because a missus was there, because at his house. So, I'm glad, like, he's doing all right. Like, we got on really well. He was never going to play a fullback over me, because I had like a good relationship with Bernard. We used to have a Sunday drink, and I knew some stories about him, so I was always going to play.
I remember when James Rabs was on here talking about it, and he even said he felt guilty because he said he had no recollection of what had happened. He said after speaking about it to the boys the next day or whatever it was, he said, like, all of you just thought that was it. That was the end of him. You thought he died. So he said that had a big impact on him, eh?
That was for me, like, honestly, I don't know. I don't care what it was, but to see that, like, one of your mates, like, you've obviously seen with the forwards, you take a head injury and he's out cold.
Yeah, that's not great.
It's just from nothing, like, just, that twitching kind of thing. That I remember that for a long time. I was just like, wow. But it's good that I follow his stuff, and that's he's doing well. So it's nice to see it. And plus, this kid, like, coming at 19, like, he already had 50 caps. When he came back and I went back, I thought, how can he still play for Australia? Like, he's been, you know, over here for the last 10 years, and he's gone back and, you know, so fair play to him, sorting himself out.
And we're just going to close out the show with some sort of quick fire round of questions. First things that come into your head. Best player you've ever played against?
Against Dan Carter.
Loosest teammate you've ever played with?
Oh God.
Max
There's
Lee.
Oh, no chance.
I've got so many to choose. You're definitely
Elvis Savaili.
Yeah, Elvis is up there. Elvis, yeah, I've had a few. Yeah, he's definitely there.
Biggest fight you've ever witnessed in training?
There's been a few.
What about that time you wanted to bang out Corbs?
Me and Corbs had a good one. Yeah. No, I think Chris Alafia chasing Gary Johnson.
Oh, that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen, bruv. Oh, I love that story so much.
I think you've even mentioned that before, Nero, Max.
Yeah. Oh, one of the greats.
That's going to be up there, that one.
Worst enemy in rugby?
Mike Brown.
Loved it. Mates.
I actually offered him a car park as well. I actually did offer him a car park. Yeah, we did.
Every time we play Quins.
Why him?
You know where that came from? That came from Strettle as well. So when we used to play Quins, he used to say, "Oh, London Knights, they're poor man's Quins." And we heard it like through the tunnel. I was like, "What?" So it was always a bit of a nasty between them with us, like. But yeah, but I actually respect the guy. You know, at the time we were same position. We were both hot heads, both, you know, starting for our clubs and wanting to play for England. So it was just that we're both angry men, basically. Put it as it is. Yeah. But yeah, he's not an enemy. Like, I never really had enemies. You can ask Max. Like, I could, you know, have a scrap someone on the field, but I'll be probably with them at 6 in the morning still drinking. You know what I mean? I don't hold grudges and stuff.
Unless you saw him in a car park.
If he did come out. No one ever came to the car park. Like,
I waited plenty of time.
Yeah, I was stood up there in the cold waiting. Probably a good thing. I would have probably got knocked out and left there. So I'm glad I didn't.
3 players in the cab with you for the ultimate piss up.
Definitely Max have been there for that fun.
Honoured.
And then who did I go? And then, yeah, Bastero. It's a good thing we don't have any more time here for stories like that.
Yeah, it'd be a big old cat.
I've been in a few situations. How to get back to hotels and stuff. Yeah, nah.
Actually, just finally as well, how many caps should your brother have had for England?
How much did he have? Or
how many should he have had?
Should he have had? Oh, definitely more than me. What did he get? 5? I had 26. I think definitely more. I think at the time, he was just having a really bad time coming through. I think Surrey's, he didn't get on well. Irish, he called Toby Booth's bluff. He wasn't playing. And they almost had a conversation. Toby was like, look, if you don't want to, he just re-signed. If you don't want to, you know, spot on a bench, find another club, you can leave. And he did. And he found Toulon and he was gone. But obviously, the new stuff of England had just changed, new contracts. But yeah, for me personally, yeah, he should have. I think he could have been definitely 50 caps for England. Had him, I think it was the body fat they were moaning about, like a percent or something, just something ridiculous. I was like, and for me personally, it's not because he's my brother. Judge him on the field. And then if that's affecting the way he plays, and this goes for any player, then yes. But it wasn't. He was good at that body weight. He was, you know, running over people, good on the ball, good ball. He's one of those players for me, winning those Heineken Cups, having him there, when you know, there's players when you look on a team sheet and you see their name, you know, we're going to do well. Obviously, you got your Johnnies and all that, Johnny Wilkinson. But when you got a guy that will change a game, 5 minutes on the line, they're dominated, they've gone to the line, and then I'll have that. You know what I mean? Against Leinster, Munster, those tough teams. They're just, you know, I mean, you'll know that, you know, for yourself, like flankers like that, you just, they're worth the money, you know. Ryan was done, you know, when you do the team, when we look at you, that pat, you know, you don't want it, we give him a pat, and you Ryan goes, stop, that's my job. But you know, you love that.
I never do it, but yeah, you fucking sevens, they are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah,
worth their weight in gold, a good 7.
Yeah, he was brilliant for us.
Well, sadly, that is all the time we've got left for this week. Thank you to Ryan and to Max, and a huge thank you to Delon for being such a good value. And good luck with everything that's going on in your life from there. But from everybody here at Rugby Pass, we'll see you all next week.